Well, because I like my little buddies and it tickles them, so it tickles me, I will say this cliche again. Hello, it's Ken again. Uh, March 6th, time now is 8 a.m. Sorry. You know what? You see my hat? Okay, here's my hat. Korea. And one of these days I'll reverse this thing and I'll learn how to reverse the videos so you can read things the right way. Right now, it's like you're looking, at a mirror image of me. But I want to talk about Korea because I started to say this the other day, wearing this hat. I'm proud that I served in Korea for 8 months upon the DMZ, or at all in Korea for a year. I was on the DMZ for about 8 months or so, and I was in Korea closer to 12 months or so. And I, I can look back 50 years and say I did my job well. I was ahead of most buck sergeants uh, because back then the more senior NCOs were busy in the village where women and uh, women and dope and drink and even a place to stay. You could rent a month and have your own woman, like a wife, in every way, uh, exclusive to you. They showed up as little as they could, and it ended up to junior NCOs, a three-stripe E5 buck sergeant. I had the most in time at E5, and so it fell to me a lot. I believe, as memory goes, that and the other couple other buck sergeants to us to pull um, these missions. And I have some pictures I want to show you, but before I do this security guard yesterday at the hospital when I was day before yesterday when I was dropping or whatever, a couple days ago when I was dropping my poor blessed yet blessed wife off at the hospital. I stayed until they put her in a room. I couldn't do a vigil sit with her after they took her up because they were going to start testing her, and frankly, I've been very sick myself. Um, and both her and I are kind of hand in hand walking down the lane of towards the rapture, I hope, and or the end of life. I'm not. Yeah, this is not for sympathy, but anyway, this guy saw my hat and he saw I was too young to discard security guard, a big, tall, 6'4", 6'5", white guy, gun, the whole deal. You know, the dark navy blue or black uniform, and I don't know if he was a regular cop or not, but I was leaving. He had a buck sergeant stripes on him, and I was leaving myself. As bad as I felt, I made a nice comment to him as I was walking out, and he referred to he was concerned that I was too young to be in the Korean War proper, 1951, 53. Well, yeah, I was born in 49. I wasn't in that. And I sort of took a little offense to that because he's obviously a beanhead who's on the lookout for what they call stolen valor. You got these jokers running around today, my age, younger, and they're all dressed up in ribbons and things, and they've never even served in the military, and they're trying to look like war heroes. And there's even an organization, I think it's called, Stolen Valor, is its name or part of its name, that are out after these people to at least shame them. What they're doing, I don't know, I don't think it's illegal, but shame on them. And I says, hey, pal, I was in there in 1970 up on the DMZ. I'd had no no time, strength, or energy to explain myself, and I didn't need to. I might have served more than he did. There's something that only military men really are, or women, are cognizant of. For every man out in the field carrying a weapon, beating the bush, or in tactical situations, there's an average of 8 people associated with him so he can get his mail, he can get fed, logistics, and things like that. He can receive ammo. Well, there's 8 men in support for each person out in the field. So not everyone who says, I fought or I was there somewhere, even got shot at, or much less carried a gun most of the time, a firearm, a weapon, if you will. But I want to show you some pictures. You'll like this. First of all, I got orders for Vietnam, which I can dig up here, but I don't want to because it's got my Social Security. I don't feel like blocking it. But it's from 1970. It's my orders for Vietnam. And I did not go because of things like this. Okay, let me hold this straight. Okay, this was a mine, road mined inside or very near outside the DMZ in South Korea. And you can read the headlines, but the small print down by my fingers says that the Jeep was thrown 15 feet. Well, it's just these and of course you can see the tire at the bottom. They blew the tire off. I imagine the occupants were killed. Well, it's things like this that got me diverted, and many of my companions, other troops with me and friends, diverted from Vietnam to Korea. Now this is me. Let's get it up. Okay, now I'm shotgun with let's see, do I have my glasses? Yeah, I have sunglasses on. We're just outside. We were ready to go inside the DMZ as an escort jeep. That's an M60 machine gun by an old friend, Jaeger, Bob Jaeger. And that's Schaefer, driver. And on the front, that bar on the front next to the white flag, because we're supposed to be under the protection of an armistice that's been going on since the early 50s, that thing sticking out is a wire cutter. We have the windshield down so we can fire. I'm wearing a bandolero. You can hardly see. Schaefer's driving. We had these things, these actually shoulder bands that said MP, and also said it in Korea. Behind me, let's see if we can see this. In this area right here, that is a dugout road. Now, the hillside where you see that bare spot was so steep that the North Koreans could have been on top and killed us all with rocks. Okay? And, you couldn't defend yourself against an ambush. And it's by God's grace, none of us got killed or hurt there. And I, personally, 8 months, didn't even get into a firefight, which means an actual gun battle like you'd see in a movie, okay? But it was all lock and load, guys, and I would take 2 other Jeeps in with us. And we're 20 years old kids, just out of high school, thrown in this crap. Worse for the guys in Nam. I take my hat off to you fellas. But again, all of us sitting there in this picture were sent to Nam. We were going, and we got diverted. We didn't run away, and we got put in this. This is probably the only place else in the world at the time, 1970, where you could compare to being in Nam. And again, not everyone who says I was in Nam came even this close to getting in firefights because of 10 people backing up each guy that was dressed like us and did this sort of thing. Okay, no heroes though, guys. I'm not a hero. All I wanted out of the Army is me. Hey, someone get me out of this crazy place. But, I went through non-commissioned officer candidate school, and they used to mock us by saying we were shake and bakes. Well, it was a 6-month school in 2 years of being drafted, that you got intensive training on learning how to, learning infantry tactics, moves, getting experience with all the typical light weapons infantry and that you could come across of. And so you could be leaders because they needed squad leaders. Okay, and there's 4 squads to a platoon. Each squad is, I don't know, there's 2 fire teams of 3 and 3, and me. And so that's, each squad is 7, or it could be a few more size. And a platoon's the average 28 to 30 men. I don't remember. I mean, it's been over 50 years. So that's me in my Korea hat. It's not a fake. I'm not a fake. I'm not going for any valor. But since it's all, I'm in the twilight years here of my life, I don't mind wearing it. I helped some people over there as a sergeant, as a good, sergeant echelon leader, help keep their stuff together. And because our stuff was hanging out when we were going past those hillsides that were cut. There was a 90-degree shear. Let me show you this real quick. You see the machine gun? That's my friend Bob Jager. He's from Chicago. Shotgun there is Schaefer. And, is Schaefer. Let me just knock this down. So, okay. Schaefer. He's from New York, but I was going somewhere. Oh, yeah, I had to teach my men just a simple instruction. Turn your M16. I have to turn, in your M60 machine gun, upon this hillside as we drive up it. Okay? We leave through a gate. Let's see if this has a name to it. No, this is, you leave, there's an actual gate there, and behind us is the DMZ proper. It's full of mines, barbed wire, and frankly, I think North Koreans. And because they're crazy. But I had to explain to my guys, turn your machine guns, turn all your weapons to face and up to face this part, because that's where it's going to come from. At first, I noticed they were going through that area with their machine gun forward. No. Turn that thing. Okay, I just happened to have this. They were going through like this. And there's the hillside. I said, guys, turn the machine gun, go left-handed, and hold it up like that, because that's where it's going to come from, especially in that spot. And I believe, though I can't validate it, my friend's Moon is actually a very wonderful man, and was in my squad, in my platoon. Moon Glade is his last name, but he's 100% Korean. He was a GI. His father adopted him in Korea during the war, and or just before it, because Moon is my age. He was born in '49 as well. But I had to tell guys, look, they've killed people in this one spot. We're driving over the exact spot. as far as I know. Because listen, the Army does not bring you up to date like they should. Okay, I don't even know where we were on the DMZ. I mean, were we east? Were we west? Were we in the middle? You'd think they got our leadership would gather us together, especially non-coms, and say, "Hey, let me show you a map. What's going on?" They don't do that. I guess they're lazy or stupid or both. But I said, guys, turn these machine guns to face the hill, the top of the hill. And if we get attacked, you won't have to waste that few seconds to turn that machine gun around. And they did, but my point is, I had to show them that. And so little things like that, they don't remember. I do. And I look back on it 50 years, and it was an intelligent thing to do because we were always being watched. It was like going to Disneyland for North Korean soldiers to come over and watch us secretly and play games with, how close can we get without getting seen. Okay. So then, that's me and my magic hat of Korea, my thinking hat. And so, for posterity, I made this video. Make Christ your Savior, and talk to you later.